Hello, my lovelies. It is time for another round of Have I Read It? So stay tuned. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. Have I Read It is one of my multiple TBR games that I play in order to help pick my TBR for the upcoming month. And the way this one works is you get to help pick my TBR. So I react to a haul from over 3 years ago, and I tell you if I've read the book, if I haven't read the book, or if I've unhauled the book. And out of all the books that I still own that I have not read, you get to vote on which book or books I'll have to add to my TBR for next month. So depending on how many unread there are, will determine how many I have to pick. So if I have 1 through 9 unread, then I have to pick the number 1 voted book. If I have 10 to 19, I have to pick the top 2 voted books, and so on and so on. So today we're going to be reacting to my book haul part 1 from April 2021. I'll be doing part 2 in a separate Have I Read It, which you'll see soon, probably in a week from this one. But yeah, it looks like it was a massive haul. So much so that it would have been well over an hour for the two. So I have my earbuds plugged in. I've got the video pulled up. Let's get started. Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today I have part 1 of my book haul. So stay tuned. So I'm going to start this off already saying that I'm going to have to split this into 2 parts because there are 48 books here, and yeah, that would be a really long video. See Sasha's tail swishing around here. As soon as I said, hey guys, she came running. Anyway, I have, like I said, 48 books. This stack from here to here are books that came in subscription boxes, and from here down are books that I purchased at Books A Million. And then on this side we have from here to here are books that I either won from giveaways or that were sent to me, and from here down are books that I ordered online. So I think I'm going to start with this pile over here and do this for part 1, and then I'll save this pile for part 2. So let's start with the books that were sent to me. So the first 4 books here were all sent from the same person. Let's see. This was sent to me from Ariel. Her Instagram is Dark Rose Guild, and she sent me this cute little box set that she said she really enjoyed, but she needed to, or maybe it was, no, this is one she never got around to reading and just needed to move, get rid of some books because she was moving. This is the box of Wizardry by Diana Duane. So there's 3 books, I believe, in that box set. Yeah. And it's on my shelf right there. I still own them. I have not read them. Let me see what the first book is. I guess I should have waited to pause at that point, but my Goodreads looks really, really weird right now. Okay, so the box of Wizardry. The first book is So You Want to Be a Wizard. This says, Nita Callahan is at the end of her rope because of the bullies who've been hounding her at school, until she discovers a mysterious library book that promises her the chance to become a wizard. But she has no idea of the difference that taking the wizard's oath is going to make in her life. Shortly, in company with fellow beginner wizard Kit Rodriguez, Nita's catapulted into what will be the adventure of a lifetime, if she and Kit can both live through it. For every wizard's career starts with an ordeal in which he or she must challenge the one power in the universe that hates wizardry more than anything else. The lone power that invented death and turned it loose in the worlds. Plunged into a dark and deadly alternate New York full of the Lone One's creatures, Kit and Nita must venture into the very heart of darkness to find the stolen legendary Book of Night with Moon. Only with the dangerous power of the wizardly book do they have a chance to save not just their own lives, but the world. Okay, so this is actually middle grade, and I need to find something to write these down. So if you want me to read this, vote So You Want to Be a Wizard. Okay, continuing on. And then in addition to those, Ariel also sent me Shadow Scale by Rachel Hartman. This is the sequel to Serafina. Okay, so I don't know if I still own this. Let me check. Okay, so I do still own this and I have not read it. However, I don't own book 1, which is Serafina. So that is what you would vote for. If this ends up being the selection, then I will read Serafina. I'll find it either on Hoopla or Libby or go to my library or something. But this says, in her New York Times best-selling and Morris Award-winning debut, Rachel Hartman introduces mathematical dragons in an alternative medieval world to fantasy and science fiction readers of all ages. 4 decades of peace have done little to ease the mistrust between humans and dragons in the kingdom of Gored. Folding themselves into human shape, dragons attend court as ambassadors and lend their rational mathematical minds to universities as scholars and teachers. As the treaty's anniversary draws near, however, tensions are high. Serafina Dombeg has reason to fear both sides. An unusually gifted musician, she joins the court just as a member of the royal family is murdered, in suspiciously draconian fashion. Serafina is drawn into the investigation, partnering with the captain of the Queen's Guard, the dangerously perceptive Prince Lucian Kiggs. While they begin to uncover hints of a sinister plot to destroy the peace, Serafina struggles to protect her own secret, the secret behind her musical gift. One so terrible that its discovery could mean her very life. So if you want me to read this, vote Serafina. Also, I can already tell just from looking at that stack, there's going to be quite a few that I haven't read. Next up I have Starvation by Molly Finnig. I don't know. I feel like I still own it, but I'm not 100%. Okay, I do still own this and have not read it. This says, John Green meets Laurie Halse Anderson in this award-winning, haunting, and incredibly real book that holds you there until the very last sentence. 16-year-old Wes McCoy is not the favorite child. He does not have a wrestling scholarship to Stanford, nor does he live up to the family legacy as an athlete, unlike his brother Jason. But when Jason dies in a car accident on the way to the state high school wrestling championship, Wes turns to food to give him the control over his life he didn't have before, the kind of success he never tasted. Wes must take back control from his eating disorder as he learns more about himself and the mystery surrounding Jason's accident before he loses his life and those closest to him. So if you want me to read this, vote Starvation. We are not off to a great start. Next was a gift that was sent to me by Kaylani. We were doing one of our after hours live shows where we were ridiculously drunk, and we all started book shopping for each other, and this is what she bought for me, and that was Fortuna Sworn by KJ Sutton. Okay, I'm pretty sure I still own this and have not read it. Let me double check. That is correct. This says, we were meant to be seductive. We were designed to lure humans in. Fortuna Sworn is the last of her kind. Her brother disappeared 2 years ago, leaving her with no family or species to speak of. She hides among humans, spending her days working at a bar and her nights searching for him. The bleak pattern goes on until she catches the eye of a powerful fairy. He makes no attempt to hide that he desires Fortuna, and in exchange for her, he offers something irresistible. So Fortuna reluctantly leaves her safe existence behind to step back into a world of creatures and power. It soon becomes clear that she may not have bargained with her heart, but her very life. So if you want me to read this, vote Fortuna Sworn. All right, next up. And then my friend Barbara, she's part of my little buddy read group. She actually sent me Swapped by Tamara Ireland Stone. I feel like I still own this and haven't read it. Yes. So I was thinking this is what it was. So Swapped is the sequel to Clicked, and I have read Clicked, and both of these books, Clicked and Swapped, are on my shelves in my bedroom because those are the series that I'm currently reading or that I've started and haven't finished yet. So this is just a duology. I can't read you about Swapped because it is the sequel. I'll read you about Clicked, but the one you would vote for is Swapped. So this says, Allie Navarro can't wait to show her best friend the app she built at Code Girls Summer Camp. Clicked pairs users based on common interests and sends them on a fun and occasionally rule-breaking scavenger hunt to find each other. And it's a hit. By the second day of school, everyone is talking about Clicked. Watching her app go viral is amazing. Leaderboards are filling up, everyone's making new friends, and with all the data Allie is collecting, she has an even better shot at beating her archenemy, Nathan, at the upcoming youth coding competition. But when Allie discovers a glitch that threatens to expose everyone's secrets, she has to figure out how to make things right, even if that means sharing the computer lab with Nathan. Can Allie fix her app, stop it from doing any more damage, and win back the friends it hurt, all before she steps on stage to present Click to the judges? And I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it 4 stars. Let me see. I wrote, this was such a cute story and so much fun to read. I would definitely read the sequel. With the exception of the main characters being in 7th grade, this book could easily be YA. So if you want me to read the sequel, vote Swapped. I think at this point, every book that's come up is one that I still own and haven't read. Oh my goodness. All right, next up. And then last but not least, I actually have 2 of these. I don't know how this happened, but this is part of Novels Couch Fest, and it was just a little competition thing that I entered, and I won 2 copies. Well, I think I just won 1 copy, but somehow I got it sent twice, of The In-Between by Mark Klein. I'm not sure. I have to check. I can pretty much say I've unhauled one of those. I don't know about the other though. I have to check. Okay, I do still own it and I have not read it. This says, this heartbreaking story, perfect for fans of If I Stay and 5 Feet Apart, follows a girl swept up in the magic of her first love, until it all comes to a tragic end that might lead her into the afterlife itself. Soon to be a motion picture on Paramount Plus starring Joey King. After bouncing around in foster homes for most of her childhood, 17-year-old Tessa Jacobs doesn't believe she deserves love, not from her adoptive parents and certainly not from anyone at school. But everything changes when she has a chance encounter with Skylar, a senior from a neighboring town who's a true romantic. Their budding relationship quickly leads to the kind of passion you only see in the movies. As her heart begins to open, Tessa starts to believe she might be deserving of love after all. When tragedy strikes, Tessa wakes up alone in a hospital room with no memory of how she got there, and then she learns the horrifying news. Skylar is dead. As Tessa searches for answers, Skylar's spirit reaches out to her from the other side. Desperate to see him one last time, Tessa must race against the clock to uncover the shocking truth of their relationship, a truth that might just lead to the afterlife itself. So if you want me to read this, vote The In-Between. All right, next up. On to the books that I purchased online. Now you can only see down to like right here, but there are like 4 more books past this point. Okay, so this is the box set of Wildwood Chronicles, and it looks like that. I have not read, and I do still own Wildwood Chronicles. I'm pretty sure it's on my shelves in here. And they're thick books. So I do still own and have not read any of those. There are 3 in that box set. So the first book is just called Wildwood. This is by Colin Malloy and illustrated by Carson Ellis. This says, for fans of the Chronicles of Narnia comes the first book in the Wildwood Chronicles, the New York Times bestselling fantasy adventure series by Colin Malloy, lead singer of the Decemberists, and Carson Ellis, acclaimed illustrator of the Mysterious Benedict Society. Wildwood captivates readers with the wonder and thrill of a secret world within the landscape of a modern city. It feels at once firmly steeped in the classics of children's literature and completely fresh. The story is told from multiple points of view, and the book features more than 80 illustrations, including 6 full-color plates, making this an absolutely gorgeous object. In Wildwood, Prue and her friend Curtis uncover a secret world in the midst of a violent upheaval, a world full of warring creatures, peaceable mystics, and powerful figures with the darkest intentions. And what begins as a rescue mission becomes something much greater as the two friends find themselves entwined in a struggle for the very freedom of this wilderness, a wilderness the locals call Wildwood. So if you want me to read this, vote Wildwood. And I can see here it is 576 pages. So with that, it actually puts us at 11 because I'm marking all 3. Which means I will have to pick the top 2 voted books, at least. I haven't read any of these books. Not a single one that's come up yet. That's crazy. We're only about a third of the way through this. Alright, continuing on. Okay, next up is Honor by Jay Crownover. I feel like I've read this. Maybe. I don't know. No. This is incorrect. I do still own this. I have not read it. This says, don't be fooled. Don't make excuses for me. I am not a good man. I've seen things no one should, done things no one should talk about. Honor and conscience have no place in my life. But I fought and I've survived. I've had to. The first time I saw her dancing on that seedy stage in that second-rate club, I felt my heart pulse for the first time. Keelan Foster was too young, too vibrant for this place, and I knew in an instant that I would make her mine. But first I had to climb my way to the top. I had to have something more to offer her. I'm here now. Money is no object, and I have no equal, except for her. She's disappeared, but don't worry. I will find her and claim her. She will be mine. Like I said, don't be fooled. I am not the devil in disguise. I'm the one front and center. So if you want me to read this, vote Honor. All right, next up. Next up, we have Dragonswood by Janet Lee Carey. I haven't read this. Do I still own it? Probably. Okay, so I do still own this, and I have not read it. However, this is the second book in a series. The first book I do not own, and it's called Dragon's Keep. So that's the one that you would vote for, and I would have to find a way to get it. This says, far away on Wild Island, Princess Rosalind is born with a dragon claw where her ring finger should be. To hide the secret, the queen forces her to wear gloves at all times until a cure can be found, so Rosalind can fulfill the prophecy to restore the family to their rightful throne. But Rosalind's flaw cannot be separated from her fate. When she's carried off by the dragon, everything she thought she knew falls apart. The dragon sees beauty in her talon where her mother only saw shame, and Rosalind finally understands what her mother has truly denied her. Carey has written a stunning portrayal of the complex relationship between a mother and a daughter in a lyrical novel sure to thrill readers who love fantasy and those who don't. So if you want me to read this, vote Dragon's Keep. I don't remember the last time I've done this bad with a haul. Next up we have Unearthly by Cynthia Hand. Okay, I do still own this, and technically haven't read it. I did not very long ago. From filming this, it's been maybe like a week ago. I filmed a Yeet or Keep, and this book was part of that. And I read the first, I can't remember 2 chapters maybe, and decided to keep it. So I do still own it, and I have not fully read it. So let me pull that up. This says, in the beginning, there's a boy standing in the trees. Clara Gardner has recently learned that she's part angel. Having angel blood run through her veins not only makes her smarter, stronger, and faster than humans, a word she realizes that no longer applies to her, but it means she has a purpose, something she was put on this earth to do. Figuring out what it is, though, isn't easy. Her visions of a raging forest fire and an alluring stranger lead her to a new school in a new town, where she meets Christian, who turns out to be the boy of her dreams, literally. Everything seems to fall into place and out of place at the same time, because there's another guy, Tucker, who appeals to Clara's less angelic side. As Clara tries to find her way in a world she no longer understands, she encounters unseen dangers and choices she never thought she'd have to make between honesty and deceit, love and duty, good and evil. When the fire from her vision finally ignites, will Clara be ready to face her destiny? Unearthly is a moving tale of love and fate and the struggle between following the rules and following your heart. So if you want me to read this, vote Unearthly. All right, next up. Then we have All We Have Left by Wendy Mills. I'm pretty sure I still own this and have not read it. No, I was wrong. Oh my goodness. I have read this one. Yay. I actually gave this one 5 stars. So I've read it and I do still own it. Thank goodness. There's been at least one in here that I've read. When did I read this? Let me see. It looks like February 7th, 2022 is when I finished it anyway. All right, next up. Okay, next up we have Wires and Nerve Volume 2 in the Lunar Chronicles series by Marissa Meyer. Okay, so the first volume actually was in it was in one of my Have I Read It's from last month. And at this point in time of filming it, I don't know what the winner of that particular Have I Read It is, because I don't look at those until like right before doing my wheel. And I'm filming this one earlier than I normally would because of a trip I'm going on. So I do still own it. I have not read it. If Wires and Nerve ends up winning in that particular Have I Read It, then for this one, you'll still vote Wires and Nerve for either one. But if Wires and Nerves wins that time and it wins this time, then this time I'll read Volume 2. If it doesn't win in that last one, but it wins in this one, then I'll read Volume 1. So let me tell you about Volume 1. This says, when rogue packs of wolf hybrid soldiers threaten the tenuous peace alliance between Earth and Luna, Aiko takes it upon herself to hunt down the soldiers' leader. She is soon working with a handsome royal guard who forces her to question everything she knows about love, loyalty, and her own humanity. With appearances by Cinder and the rest of the Rampion crew, this is a must-have for fans of the series. So if you want me to read whichever volume I'm at, vote for Wires and Nerve. All right, next up. Next up we have Nice Try, Jane Center by Leanne Ulk. I'm not sure if I own this one still or not. Okay, I do still own it, and I have not read it. This says, the only thing 17-year-old Jane Center hates more than failure is pity. After a personal crisis and her subsequent expulsion from high school, she's going nowhere fast. Jane's well-meaning parents push her to attend a high school completion program at the nearby Elbow River Community College, and she agrees on one condition: she gets to move out. Jane tackles her housing problem by signing up for House of Orange, a student-run reality show that is basically Big Brother but for Elbow River students. Living away from home, the chance to win a car, used but whatever, and a campus full of people who don't know what she did in high school. What more could she want? Okay, maybe a family that understands why she'd rather turn to Freud than Jesus to make sense of her life. But she'll settle for 15 minutes in the proverbial spotlight. As House of Orange grows from a low-budget web series to a local TV show with fans and shoddy t-shirts, Jane finally has the chance to let her cynical, competitive nature thrive. She'll use her growing fan base and whatever intro to psychology can teach her to prove to the world, or at least viewers of substandard TV, that she has what it takes to win. So if you want me to read this, vote nice try, Jane Sinner. We are getting awfully close to me having to read the top 2 voted books. All right, next up. And then probably one of my most anticipated books, that is House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. I have read and do still own House of Hollow. Crystal Sutherland was actually one of our past Season-a-thon authors. I think House of Hollow was the book that was like we were promoting in that one. It wasn't the group book. I believe a semi-definitive list of worst nightmares was the group book, and House of Hollow was the one that she had like about to come out. All right, next up. Okay, next up is Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I have read and do still own Gemina. Next. Okay, this next book is a heavy book. Oh my goodness. It is, let me see how many pages it is. It's over 900 pages, but it is so heavy. That is, hi Katniss. 1,000 books to read, a life-changing list. Oh, wait. 1,000 books to read before you die, a life-changing list by James Mustich. I do still own this, and I haven't read it. I don't know if this is a book that you would read all in one sitting. It's almost more like a coffee table book. I mean, I'm still going to mark it. I'm still going to put it on my list if you want to vote for it. And essentially, it's 1,000 books. It's a list. It probably tells about each book. And that would be a cool challenge to do. 1,000 books to read before you die. But I don't know if I'd want to sit there and literally read front to back of that book. But I'll put it on the list here. So if you do want to vote for it, you can vote 1,000 books to read. All right, next up. Okay, sorry if there was an angle change. So we only have 2 more books remaining for this part. So the next book here is another book that I pre-ordered, and even though I pre-ordered it, it didn't come until May because I ordered it along with another book and said that it could wait until they were both ready to be shipped because it was another book that was pre-ordered as well. And this one is Lost in the Neverwoods by Aiden Thomas. I do still own Lost in the Neverwoods. I don't think I've read it. Let me check. That is correct. This says, when children go missing in the small coastal town of Astoria, people look to Wendy for answers. It's been 5 years since Wendy and her 2 brothers went missing in the woods. But when the town's children start to disappear, the questions surrounding her brother's mysterious circumstances are brought back into light. Attempting to flee her past, Wendy almost runs over an unconscious boy lying in the middle of the road and gets pulled into the mystery haunting the town. Peter, a boy she thought lived only in her stories, claims that if they don't do something, the missing children will meet the same fate as her brothers. In order to find them and rescue the missing kids, Wendy must confront what's waiting for her in the woods. And it looks like this is actually like a Peter Pan kind of retelling. So if you want me to read this, vote Lost in the Neverwoods. Also, Aiden Thomas was a Season-a-thon author as well. I think, oh gosh, I can't remember what the book was. What was the book? The Sunbearer Trials. Yeah, that's what we had for Season-a-thon. Okay, so it's all gonna come down to whatever this last book is, because I said that there was only 2 left before that one, so that means there should be only 1 book left in part 1, and at this point in time there are 18 unread. Wait, no, I will only have to pick the top 2 because I would need to have 20 to pick the top 3. Okay, so I'm only picking the top 2 voted books. But let's see what else I have here. All right, next up. Okay, so the other book that I pre-ordered, and why this one had to wait, is one that with the pre-order, it actually came signed and with a signed book plate by several of the authors because it's an anthology. And that is That Way Madness Lies, 15 of Shakespeare's most notable works reimagined, edited by Dahlia Adler. I think, I can't remember if I've read this one or not. Let me check. Okay, I did read it. It looks like I gave it just 3 stars. And I think I unhauled that one. Okay. So that was the last book. So comment down below which book or books you would like for me to add to my TBR for next month. And like I said, I will pick the top 2 voted books this time. You have a lot of books to choose from. You can vote for So You Want to Be a Wizard, Seraphina, Starvation, Fortuna Sworn, Swapped, The In-Between, Wildwood, Honor, Dragon's Keep, Unearthly, Wires and Nerve, Nice Try Jane Sinner, 1000 Books to Read, or Lost in the Neverwoods. And you can vote for as many as you want. You don't have to vote for just 1 or 2. You can vote for as many as you want. And like I said, I'll pick the top 2 voted books. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!